Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dragon at 2427, and in this video I'm just gonna be going over the whole Thaiger uppercut fiasco that happened a couple days ago. Now, originally I wasn't actually gonna make a video about this because number one, I didn't really want to, and number two, I mean, what could I add that hasn't already been said? There's plenty of other YouTubers that have already pretty much gone over this, and I don't really keep up with like the Tekken 8 competitive scene. Like, I tune in every once in a while. I'm not as invested as I am with Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6, but yeah, it's just kind of blew up like the last couple of days, and yeah, it's been pretty crazy of everything that's kind of come out behind it. But a lot of people in my channel kind of wanted me to cover it, and at first, like I said, I really kind of didn't really want to at first, but a lot of people were like, hey man, you're in the FGC, you gotta kind of cover this as your job. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of is, but so I'll just make like a short video, just kind of giving my 2 cents on the whole situation. So for those of you guys who don't know what's been going on this past few days, sorry, I believe on Thursday or Friday, I believe, is when this whole thing kind of went down. So there was this tournament for Tekken 8 called Thaiger Uppercut, and I believe this was in Thailand, I believe. I think that's where the tournament was held, and this was a big tournament. If you guys remember back in Mortal Kombat 1, the East Coast Throwdown, how that was a big tournament, everybody was there. This is kind of like that. This is a really big tournament. A lot of huge players were here. Olsen and Nee were here, and I believe Ninja Killa was as well. But the controversy here starts with this player right here. Let me hover my mouse. I do have I can't pronounce this guy's name, but I have Slayer's video up. And I do recommend you give it a look here after you're done with mine, because he kind of goes way more in-depth than I will. And I believe Demetrius also made a video, so if you want to look at that guy or Mike Hollow, they both made videos on this situation. But yeah, so what ended up happening here was this Chinese player, Essence, here, just kind of went up and just dominated here. And what ended up happening, this is where the controversy starts. Essence won in the quarterfinals, not the semifinals, the quarterfinals. He won this here bracket right here, and he was top 8 now. However, what ended up happening is, when he won, the judges then went and said that he was disqualified, and then that's when the crowd kind of went crazy there, because their whole reason they gave him for disqualifying him was just kind of BS. They disqualified him for being Chinese. That was the reason, because he wasn't supposed to be in this tournament. No Chinese players allowed, and everybody just went and lost it, and rightfully so. It got to the point later on where I believe Bandai Namco and the Tekken World Tour Cup esports Twitter page made a tweet talking about not really. They didn't apologize at first, although later on they did end up doing that. But they basically saying that they had to disqualify him because they were going by the rule book, and like Chinese players weren't supposed to be allowed in the tournament, and basically all this. It was they were basically pointing fingers at this dude's like career, pretty much. I don't know why they did that. It was so dumb. They pretty much blamed Essence here. It was basically saying it was your fault for not knowing the rules. That's pretty much what ended up happening, and everybody just went and just gave him hell for that. But L take all like, you guys really need to give this dude's money back, all this and that on Twitter. And here's the thing though, not even it has kind of come out that not even the tournament organizers knew that this dude was in the tournament, or that they weren't supposed to have any Chinese players in this tournament, which is just wild to me how the tournament organizers didn't even know about this. They didn't know. So that's just kind of crazy. And I don't believe that it was a mistake that this dude was let in. I don't believe that. I'm not buying that. There's 2 reasons here. So for number one, let me see if I can find them. I believe it's this guy right here, the one I'm hovering over. This guy is Russian, I believe. One of these players is Russian, and this dude is not allowed to compete either. Russians are not allowed to compete in Tekken tournaments either, and this dude was let in. And as you can see, he lost. So here's where my second part goes into play here. I find it weird that Essence was allowed to compete all the way until the quarterfinals of this here tournament, and nobody says anything. Nobody raises their hand, nothing, no disqualifications or anything. It's up until he wins. Because I know it looks like Shadow wins here, but he just really wins due to forfeit, because the other player got disqualified. But Essence won this battle, and then all of a sudden it's a problem. That's where the main issue is at hand here, and everybody realizes this. Because this is pretty much just them being xenophobic for no reason, in my opinion, because, like I said, this Russian dude, he lost. And they let him take the L. They didn't disqualify him. He lost. So it was, all of a sudden, it's a problem when this guy wins. So that's the whole thing that everybody's up in arms about. And let me see if I can find, I'm going to just kind of skip through this here. So yeah, this was the apology they issued. We had to disqualify a player from the Thaiger uppercut master event who does not reside in an eligible country under Tekken World Tour 2024 regulations. Although we did our best to explain the circumstances to the player and followed the official rules, this led to an unprecedented situation. Basically saying it's not our fault. We explained it to him. He should have known. That's basically what they said. It's total BS. We understand that this decision has caused disappointment among some members of the community. Yeah, okay. More like all, but yeah. And we will consider adjusting the official rules for future seasons, which just basically means that, like, they're not going to let anybody that's from China in. And then they're just going to thank you for your understanding. I'm not sure what everybody's understanding. The only thing people are understanding here is how BS that was. And as you can see on the right, yep, people are just not happy, not letting it. They're not letting Bandai Namco have it. It's pretty crazy. And then you get this. Oh yeah, and then to refund him too. Here's the thing. They didn't want to give him his money back because this dude flew from China. You got to keep in mind, this dude flew. A lot of people do not realize this, but pro players, when they go to these tournaments, especially from far away, they're paying out of pocket. So when they go to these tournaments, they're playing at a loss. When they win like, I don't know, let's say like top 4, right? That's when you start to break even at most of these tournaments. That's when you get you're just playing at that point, you're playing to get your money back. You're not actually like making bank there. The only real people that make money are the top 2 players. That's usually how it is. So if you don't even make it to top 4, you're playing at a loss. That's the thing you got to understand. So this dude, he made it to top 8 and was winning. Then gets disqualified, and they did not want to give him his money back. They didn't want to pay for his flight or anything, which was just completely crazy how they thought that was A-okay. Then you got FaZe Joey over here basically saying how BS that was. If this was the case, an eligible player would not have advanced through 5 rounds of a master event and sent numerous Tekken World Tour hopefuls to losers. Not cool. Exactly, like literally what I was just saying. Like, if this was the case, not only would that Russian dude be disqualified, but this dude would not have made it through 5 rounds of the tournament without being disqualified. That's just absolutely crazy to me. Let's see. Here we have Rufelmonger, shameful and embarrassing behavior. Yep. And then here you do see Essence here just basically... He's just basically thanking everybody that supported him in the tournament, even though, it was BS what happened to him, but it's nice to see that everybody's kind of banded together and just everybody's supporting him through this. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then this right here. I spoke to the player's friends, and they said that he cried after being disqualified. What happened to him is just letting everybody play video games, man. Yeah, that was crazy. I'd be crying too if that happened to me, man. Like, imagine if you won, and then as soon as you're gonna move to like the top 8, disqualified. That's just like, I don't know, man. If that happened to me, I would not be playing Tekken 8 competitively ever again, man. That's just crazy. The fact that I will say that Essence has like some serious guts to keep playing this game the way he does, man, after that happened to him. And like I said, people are not happy. So if I go back to Steam here, as you can see, the reviews just tanked. Everybody is pissed. Let's see. As you can see, like, not that many people are happy about it. Everybody's got their own reasons to complain. You know, the game's not as good as Tekken 7, the whole tournament fiasco. Everybody's just, like, letting them have it. It's just wild. Now, I know that there's also been that whole stage debacle with Tekken 8. I'm not gonna talk about that. The YouTube. Everybody else is talking about it. They can talk about it. I'm not going to. That's its own situation. I'm only gonna talk about the tournament. Now, let's go back to Bandai Namco because they did put out a statement. So after a couple days of them just basically taking a lot of heat from the community, they did put out a brand new statement. We sincerely apologize for disappointing our players, the community due to the disqualification at the recent Thaiger uppercut event. After careful consideration for the Tekken World Tour 2024 Global Finals, we will update the official rules to allow players from China to compete via the last chance qualifier. For the affected players from the Thaiger uppercut event, we will be reaching out to cover their travel and accommodation expenses. We will also be inviting Essence to Tokyo to compete in the last chance qualifier. Looking ahead, we will review and improve our tournament operations and official rules for the Tekken World Tour 2025 to ensure a more enjoyable experience where more people, incoming players from China, can participate and earn the right to advance to the final. So they are going to cover his expenses now, and they're going to give him one more chance to make it in, which is like, it sucks that he has to fight back, like he has to climb that ladder all over again just to make it to top 8 once again. It's just kind of silly. That should not have been a problem in the first place. But yes, they're going to pay for his expenses, and they do talk about China here, but they don't talk about Russia. But I don't know if they're going to include them in the next tournament or not. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. And everybody here on the right side is kind of more or less okay with this statement. It is an alright statement. Like I said, we should not have gotten to this point. It's just kind of silly. But yeah, that's all I had to do is talk about this situation. Not really much else to add. And hopefully the rest we'll just see how it plays out, honestly. This has been Dragon Eye. Peace.